We are back to the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic here tonight from Wilmington, Delaware, the Chase Fieldhouse. We get set for the nightcap, Sallies and Sanford. But before we do, here is public address announcer Kevin Linton.
Proudly present game number 7 of the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic. Tonight's final game of the Classic features the Sanford School Warriors and the Sallies Adams School Cells. Before we begin tonight's final game of the tournament, we ask you please direct your attention to the floor and let's have a great big warm welcome for the co-founder of SL24. Put your hands together for Chris Locke.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming here tonight. Just like to speak to you for a few minutes. If I could get your attention, I would greatly appreciate it. 6 months after we lost my son Sean, I stood right here at center court. It was the first step of a million steps on a journey we have traveled together. It was to become a journey of change. You know, change is a hard thing to do. We like doing what we know, what we're used to doing. The familiar becomes comfortable, even if that comfort doesn't make us the best that we can be. Change is so hard. However, it is with change that we can explore, that we can find ourselves. Change is what makes us grow. Change is what makes us a better people, a better community. 8 years ago, I stood right here. Some of you have been here from the beginning to support the SL24 mission. We are extremely and eternally grateful for all that you have done to make the SL24 mission possible. All of you are a beacon of lights in a world that can be so dark. And for some of you this evening, this is your first tournament. And I welcome you on this journey to help young people, to support young people who are battling with mental health problems. All of you now are the new bright lights to continue what we started 8 years ago. Today, when I was getting ready to speak, I looked at that first speech that I gave at the first tournament. It was pretty raw. It was pretty emotional. It had only been 6 months since we lost Sean. The grief of losing Sean was overwhelming, and it is still today, almost 8 years later. It is such a tragedy that we lost him to mental illness. At that first tournament, I challenged those attending to begin to take the first steps to remove the stigma of mental illness, to educate and to help those people who are suffering in silence, to bring a light into their darkness. And since that first tournament, we have now educated over 200,000 people to remove that stigma. We have awarded nearly $100,000 in SL24 scholarship to help pay for mental health services to our young people. Over 45,000 people have come to Sean's house, over 16,000 to the Sean's rooms, and nearly 5,000 have used our Peer 24 support system. And as of today, we have saved 198 people who came into Sean's house in a suicidal crisis. 198 people are still with us today. That, my friends, is change. That is change for good. All of you, whether this is your 8th tournament or your first tournament, all of you are part of that remarkable change. Yes, change is hard. It takes a lot of hard work, but the rewards are so great. My daughter, Catherine, who's the co-founder of SL24, she said to me, "You know, Dad, 10 years ago, we were down at Towson University to watch Sean play one of his last college basketball games. And a decade later, here we are still at a basketball game. But we're not cheering on Sean. We are cheering on all of you that are here with us today. And the cheering won't all look the same. We cheer on supporters, we cheer on volunteers, we cheer on the players, and we cheer all of you that are sitting in the stands tonight. And every chair in the stands holds a different story. Every type of support has a different sound. But no matter what your cheer looks like, please know this: we feel it. We feel it in the volume, and we feel it in the light. And know that we feel Sean cheering on all of you. Each of you are the lights that we need to end the darkness of mental illness. So as been the tradition of this tournament since the first, I ask for the lights to be dimmed. And now, if you want to be part of that change, if you suffer with mental illness, if you want to help those people who are in mental health challenges, light up your light. Let you be the beacon to help them out of the darkness. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for all that you do for SL24, and keep on making the change to help those who are struggling. Thank you. God bless.
Basketball Classic is brought to you by DSM Commercial, HFM Advisors, Jersey Mike's, and by Nemours. Another powerful speech from Chris Locke, the co-founder of the SL24 Foundation, here tonight as we get set for our final game of the weekend here in the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic. It's been a lot of fun here tonight. Always great to be with you here. Mike Corey, Barnett Harris back with us here courtside, and Bill Harmon before we get set for Sallies and Sanford. Bill, we'll start with you. Thoughts on everything that's happened so far up to this point, and what we're going to see, you think, with this game here tonight?
Well, first of all, it's been a great weekend. A lot of great response from everybody. The crowds have been terrific. The involvement of the people we've talked to has been absolutely magnificent. I've been more impressed every year. Chris Locke always has such a wonderful message, and I just love the way he's coalesced so many people into this wonderful foundation and cause. We're going to see a really good game here this evening. Salesianum's played almost as many teams as anybody in the state. They're 8-8, but I'll tell you what, they're playing their best basketball of late. They played a very difficult schedule. They played 9 teams out of state. They're 5-4, and they've done a really good job recently of kind of playing better, though they suffered a loss against Howard in their last game. Sanford comes in winning 4 in a row. They're 8-5. This is a young team, not a lot of seniors, not a lot of height, but Khalid Hart always does a great job. He was one of Sanford's all-time great players.
Barnett?
Absolutely. I echo everything Coach said, and I'm excited for this great matchup to end another year of an exceptional tournament.
Please welcome Airman from the Joburg Air Force Base, United States Air Force Guard. We'll ask that you please remain standing until the color guard has left the floor following our national anthem. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight to perform their rendition of the Star Spangled Banner from the Sanford School. Please welcome Abigail Smith and Charlie Harris.
So proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Sallies Sanford tonight in our final game of the weekend in the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic. And here we go. Mike Corey, Barnett Harris, Bill Harmon, ready for the opening tip here tonight. And you were talking about it, Bill, and your thoughts on this game, Barnett, before the anthem. Give us your take once again here with these two going at it here to complete the night.
I echo everything Coach said. Sallies is playing their best basketball as of late, and Sanford is coached by an unbelievable athlete, an unbelievable Sanford great, and he's going to have his players, although young, ready to play because they love playing for him and they're going to work hard. So I'm excited to see the matchup tonight.
Starters for Sanford for Khalid Hart, the head coach. Jacob Allen, number 1. Azir Elgood, number 2. 3 is Trevor Webster. 10, Niall Watson. And 11, Johnny Pachection. That's the starting 5 for Sanford. For Sallies, head coach Taylor Trevison. And it's number 1, Latrell Wright, who's 5 points away from 1,000. And we'll see when he gets that. They'll do an honor for him at midcourt and stop the game. Number 2, Braylon Sosa. Number 10, Mark Brown. Number 20, Matt Shelley. And number 30, Dominic Downs, rounding out the starting 5 for Sallies here tonight in this one.
Mike and Barnett, we talked about the youth of Sanford. Believe it or not, they have 3 freshmen and an 8th grader on this team. 1 senior, Trevor Webster, who's been around. Elgood has played for 3 years at Sanford and started, but Khalid Hart played as a very young player as well, so he knows how to develop these young guards. They have excellent guard play. It'll be interesting to see how they match up inside with a much bigger and veteran Sallies front line.
A little bit of a theme here this weekend, Bill, in terms of the young talent that we are seeing throughout. Not only freshmen, but some 8th graders as well.
It's really scary how good these players are at such an early age. Obviously, the development of AAU, the fact that they start playing basketball at a very early age, the development of skills, it really is, and it's impressive to see how well they handle the pressure, which I think, hey, anybody can shoot the ball a little bit, handle the ball, but can you respond to pressure, especially when it's applied by veteran players?
Coach, when you have a team that's so young, you've been around the game a long time. Do you think that at some point, because they're so young and they don't know, they play a little bit freer than if you maybe had a veteran team?
I'm not sure I'd use the word freer, but I might use the word that they play a little bit looser, and maybe that's the same thing you're saying. It's really hard for me to say. We haven't had at St. Mark's and at Archmere in my years of coaching that many really young players. Though Sean Locke was a freshman that played for us, and let me tell you what, he was so fluid and was such a great shooter. He played with a lot of freedom and knew exactly what he wanted to do. So I think it's more that these guys feel so confident in their abilities, and their coaches feel that way as well and give them the opportunity.
Sallies in white to get things started, and right on the jumper doesn't go. Sanford wearing the navy blue, and we're underway here tonight in the nightcap.
Latrell Wright is a really good player. He's a transfer from Conrad a couple years ago. He can do it at both ends of the court.
On the drive, and a foul is called. It's going to be Sanford's Niall Watson that'll get to the line for two. Our officials tonight, by the way, Chuck Jameson with Anthony Horton and Jason Hensey.
A veteran crew. Jason Hens's father is one of the supervisors. Randy Hens has been around for a long time. We're going to get a really well-called game tonight.
The foul was on Sally's Matt Shelley, who picks up his first. At the line is Niall Watson, the sophomore for Sanford. And they're on the board here first, 23 seconds into this game tonight.
Coach Trevison has started a number of different lineups throughout the year. Shelley has not started the entire season, but he's really come on. Watch for Dominic Downs, a great long-range shooter, to be complimented with Latrell Wright making splitting kicks to him.
Foul called here. It's on Sanford. And it's on number 2, Azir Elgood.
For a team as veteran as Salesianum with 6 seniors, they start a freshman, and one of their first players off the bench, Zion Rothwell, is a freshman as well. So they've got some youth on that team as well.
Yeah, you called it. Number 2, Sosa, and number 22, Rothwell. There's Sosa, hands it off here for Wright. Latrell Wright back up to the top for Dominic Downs, and he'll take it in. And he got redirected on its way to the hole, and Sanford has it.
Well, Sanford loves to push the ball in the open court. They need to play fast because of their guard play and the lack of height, so they need to make this a full court game, getting offense out of their defense.
And they're fundamentally sound. They boxed out and limited Sallies to 1 shot.
Sally's possession here, 1 minute 5 seconds into the game.
Sanford will play man-to-man at a variety of levels. They have excellent ball pressure. Don't play a lot of help, and they usually play to the side of the post player. So let's see if Sallies can take advantage of some of that interior play.
Right behind the back. Extra pass up to the top for Sosa. He got taken away. And Sanford on the steal, quickly to the hole for the 2 is Watson.
That's exactly what I was saying, be able to create a steal and take it coast to coast to be able to score very quickly before Sally's defense can set up.
And a traveling violation on Wright will turn it back over to Sanford.
Mike and Barnett, when Sallies has had difficulties this year, they have turned the ball over a lot. They play too fast, kind of get out of their flow of play. Coach Trevison does a great job of coaching his half-court offense. They just need to get into it more often.
7th season for Coach Trevison, the St. Joe's graduate in 2013. Here's a 3. It's up and it's good for protection. That's the 8th grader, Johnny Projection.
Unbelievable, fearless shooter from range.
What a start for Sanford as they lead at 7-0. And back the other way, Sallies for their first bucket tonight by Sosa.
Sosa plays at a wonderful speed. He usually has a great refinement to his game as a long-range shooter, but he's very clever at putting them on the ball, the floor on the ball with both hands.
This is what I like to see. High-flying action, the pace, the tempo. I love it.
3 ball no good by Webster. It was a 7-0 start for Sanford. Until that 3 by Sosa for Sallies. Now here's Wright.
They've got to find some ways to get Downs and Brown some touches in scoring positions. Brown is a really good free throw shooter. who needs to see the ball a little bit more often.
Well, this is Matt Shelley, the senior, who hits a three, and just like that, Sallies is back within one.
Shelley's known for his ball handling and his setup abilities, and is a very fine defender. A big bonus for him to hit that three.
3 minutes gone by in the first quarter here, 7-6, Sanford on top. Meeting right there in the middle of the lane. The shot off the window too strong that time by Protection. And the other way on the run, it's right. Pulls up and hits.
When you're going to have penetration in the lane, there've got to be players rotating back to get court balance. Salesianum will hurt you because they have excellent speed, and this veteran club loves to push the ball when the opportunity presents itself.
I love how both teams on missed shots are trying to push the pace, trying to catch the other team off guard and execute. It takes communication, it takes precision, it takes chemistry, and both teams are displaying that right now.
Sanford started on a 7-0 run, and now it's been an 8-0 run by Sallies as they get the rebound off the miss, and here's Sosa again.
Sanford's shot selection has to be really impeccable because Sallies should dominate both glasses.
Right, and he's going to be fouled by Watson.
Wright is a really tough guard, guys. He's very capable with both hands. He's got a great first step. You can see with his body, he's really done a great job in the weight room preparing himself for this season. He's very physical. He's not going to be stopped by a hand check.
Webster takes a seat for Sanford. Sam Russell is in for the first time. There's a long jumper that's no good by Wright. Rebound Sanford.
As Sanford will sprint the ball up the court. They'll get corner shooters at every opportunity. The time of great penetration by Elligood, who's got is true veteran. Even though he's a junior, he's a true veteran. Plays at a wonderful speed and a great decision maker.
I love the lefty jump shot. It reminds me of a Sanford legend that I've had the fortune to play with, Anthony Champ Mosley. Coach, you know Anthony Mosley really well.
I know Champ very well. Talk about a player that was dynamic in the open court, but he possessed a really wonderful feel for the game, could play in the mid-range as well as the three-point line, and he was a tremendous long foul shooter as well.
Absolutely, as we see the nice spin and then smooth left mid-range jump shot.
At the foul line is Dominic Downs here for Sallies, and he's tied the game at 9. 3:27 to go in this fast-moving first quarter. Substitutions for Sallies here as well, as Zion Rothwell is in, Kevin Coleman is in, and also Kai Aplanap is up off the bench as well. He'll check in for the shooter Downs if he hits it, and he does.
What's nice to see about Dominic Downs, the senior, he was known as a just spot-up shooter, a catch-and-shoot guy. He has refined his game and expanded it, being able to drive to the basket and get some free throws.
10-9 Sallies, coming up on 3 minutes to play in the first quarter of action here tonight in the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic. Final game of the weekend. Jacob Allen goes to the corner, protection, and he hits another three.
Protection is fearless. They run a little bit of a exit screen, some baseline screening. He pops out to the corner, a little dribble handoff. Before he knows, he gets that wide open shot. A very quick release for the eighth grader.
Yeah, exactly, right, Bill? I mean,
I had to catch myself.
No, he doesn't look like an 8th grader. I mean, that's the thing. When you've got skills and you've got size and you've got athleticism, it seems to come pretty early, and he has it.
Boy, he certainly does. I just like his demeanor out on the court. He's a very positive player. He knows how to get open for his shot. He's got a nice high follow-through so he can get it off against taller and quicker players.
Fans, don't forget about the online auction here tonight to help raise money for the SL24 Foundation. As a 3-ball goes up and is short by Jacob Allen. A putback, though, is good. And boy, protection starting out strong here tonight. The auction's got tons of great items. Jalen Hurts autographed football, tickets to Eagles home games, restaurant, dining certificates, island vacation packages, and a lot more. Check it out as we're on our way to the end of this game here tonight. The online auction, great way to support the SL24 Foundation and get some great items as well.
Well, you got to love the energy of Sanford. They are playing up right now. They're first to the floor. They've been pushing the ball in transition. Their 8th grader is taking over the game, scoring in a variety of ways. What an impressive start for Khalid Hart's team.
Absolutely, and I love the pace. I love the tempo of this game. I predict that it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think we're going to get to the mid to high 60s, and I love it. And it's who can drum up some stops, who can limit the other team to one opportunity and not allow them to get multiple second chance opportunities. And I'm excited to continue to see this play. And I love diving on the ground. That's the type of basketball player I was. I dove all over the floor, and I love that from the Sanford team. Call a timeout, run a set, and you build that momentum.
14-10, Sanford leads it here with 2:05 to play in the first quarter. And we're looking forward to seeing how much money was raised this past weekend in the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic. We'll have that number for you between the third and fourth quarter tonight. Chris Locke, who you heard from at the start of the broadcast, the co-founder of SL24, will give us that number. 674,324 last year. Boy, how impressive would it be if we all of a sudden break that total for the 8th consecutive year here for this tournament?
Well, I'm making the over-under 720.
Wow.
So let's see if I'm going above. This group has done a great job of mobilizing. They have so many different ways you can give money and get involved. Great crowd here tonight as well.
Nice feed inside and a block even better that time by Applenap for Sallies. And they get it right back the other way for Wright. And now inside for Applenap.
Applenap's got to force the ball inside. They've got to take advantage of their height and their experience and their width in there to try to force Sanford at least into playing them in a different way. If you allow them to play it on the perimeter, they're going to match you with their quickness, and that's not playing to Salesianum's strengths.
They call the foul on Sam Russell for Sanford.
Don't you love those beautiful rims, the way the ball hangs around and very soft in here. They've done a great job of, I think, loosening up these rims over the years.
That one off the mark, though. The offensive rebound by Kevin Coleman, and then they lost it out of bounds. Sanford possession.
Coleman's a player that came from another school. He's really developed his game and expanded it over the years. Kind of a ball handler now. He's grown into his body. He can play inside and outside. A pretty versatile player who gives Coach Trevison a lot of dimensions.
Nice play inside again, and Sanford with Sam Russell converts to make it 16-11.
Another one of those freshmen getting involved in the offensive action for Sanford. Sallies has to do a better job with their transition defense.
Applenap, yes, no, offensive.
Nothing better for me as a defensive-minded coach to see a young man step in and draw a charge, especially against a big body coming in at full speed. Great job there by Niall Watson.
Yep, and he got established there. And sometimes, Bill, I always like to watch those back in full speed, right? Because that's what the officials are seeing. And sometimes you freeze it and you say, oh, he was there. Well, not quite. He was there a step early that time and took the charge. 16-11 Sanford.
Well, this, I don't know if the pace favors Sanford, but certainly the way the game is going favors Sanford. They played very loose and free, as Barnett, you mentioned to me earlier on in the game what I thought about that.
Rebound, Sallies on the run. Rothwell, count it.
I like that. You get a nice turnover, you get a nice rebound. Push the pace, make them get back. And Sallies executed to perfection.
And nobody back at all for Sanford. They got caught much too deep in the lane. I'll tell you what, this Rothwell does not look and play like a freshman to me.
Certainly not. 22 in white for Sallies, Zion Rothwell. 25 seconds to go before the end of the first. Sanford has the ball, a 3-point lead. What do they do here? They kick it to the corner. It's a three from Watson. It's good.
Sallies has got to do a better job of keeping the ball out of the lane. Those interior penetrations open up the weak side because the help gets drawn into the lane. A really fine pass and shot, catch and shoot.
The way Sanford is shooting today, I know Trevor Cooney is somewhere smiling.
Esser, jumper off the mark at the end of the first quarter, and that will complete our first 8 minutes of action. So Sanford out to the 19-13 lead here after one. When we return, the start of the second quarter in our final game in the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic. It's the nightcap between Sallies and Sanford. The Warriors lead it by 6. Start of the second quarter after this.
who he grew up to be? Well, that depends on all of us. That's why, along with our groundbreaking medical care, Nemours Children's Health supports programs that address issues like food insecurity and the resources essential to learning. It's all part of creating a healthier future for all children. So, he can grow up to be whoever he wants to be. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine.
Aha! I knew it! You are stealing my Jersey Mike's gig.
Danny, it's just because Jersey Mike's is an official sponsor of the NFL. I'm not taking your gig.
Now you're taking my look.
This is how I dress.
My glasses. I've been looking for those.
I wear glasses. I have astigmatism.
I'll give you astigmatism.
Ready for you on set, Eli.
I gotta go.
This ain't over, Manning.
Jersey Mike's, a sub of...
Hey, that's my line. A sub above.
The 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic is brought to you by ABHA Architects, Buffalo Wild Wings, Lang Cares Foundation, and by Kevin and Marion Healy. Started the second quarter tonight with Sallies and Sanford, and the Warriors lead by 6. 6 players have scored for Sallies, 5 have scored for Sanford, Bill, and only 2 players with 2 scores in the game. I mean, that's pretty amazing right now, the way they've spread it out for both teams.
And this is the youth movement. They are certainly shining. The 8th and 9th graders for both teams really doing a terrific job. Trevor, welcome. Great to see you.
Yeah, Trevor Cooney joining us now here tonight. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Talk about a guy that was a great player as a young guy and still was a good player as an old guy.
I was just talking to you earlier. I did a couple of games up at Syracuse this year, and it must just be super special for you. I know you want to get him back on track here, but what a career, and this must be a lot of fun for you here.
It is. It is. To be a part of the foundation, to be a part of this event, and to have my school be a part of it. It is really, really special. I just know how special this event is, and I'm just glad that these guys are able to hear this message, just because I just know how important it is.
Trevor, you were a long-time associate down here at the field house. You did a great job, and we always coordinated things with you here. You did a great job. Took a new job a couple of years ago, I believe. How's that going?
It is going great. I'm in commercial real estate with Diamond State Management. I love working with them. It's a great group of people, great opportunities, and it's a lot of fun.
For those of you not familiar, Trevor was really the one that got this whole thing started here at the Chase Fieldhouse back in 2019, right? He had a conversation with Chris, and he said, hey, how do we get this conversation started? And he said, well, you know, nobody really wants to talk about that, but you don't mind talking about basketball and coming to a hoop game. Let's do it around that. And thanks to you and obviously a bunch of them and the board, here we are. So thanks again.
Absolutely. It was just to use the game of basketball in the right way to get this message out. And it's the way that it's taken off and to what it is today, it's truly remarkable. And we have an amazing board, amazing volunteers that make this thing what it is today.
Big thing that we've been talking about throughout the broadcast here, Trevor, is what a move as Braylon Sosa goes in. He got fouled. He'll get 2 at the line. He previously just hit a 3 as we're down to a 3-point game. All the younger people are talking about this. We've had them on the air here with us, and they're coming out and saying what they've been dealing with, and that they're able to talk to their friends and people about it in Sean's rooms and in the peer support program at Sean's house, and that's exactly what we were hoping to do.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think in 2019 when we had this, it was a different world than it is today. And I think we came at a great time, and there was a lot of other athletes that were huge advocates for mental health, and I think you add all of that in. It just is something it's just talked about now, and it's great.
Well, and it's different times, like you said, in terms of the players and, you know, what it's like as a coach, or you're trying to really understand and have a little bit more perspective nowadays than just being out there and yelling at somebody like, you know, there might be something going on, right? And now at least, you know, we have the wherewithal to ask and have those conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. Then you add in social media and what these kids go and see through every single day. It's different. You cannot tell how they're feeling, right? So for them to to know that it's okay to speak up and to say things, and then there's other people that have dealt with these issues, and then they can talk to them. It's built a really big community, and it's just going in the right way.
Here's Braylon Sosa for Sallies, gets it over to Matt Shelley. 2 minutes gone by in the second. Now a three ball in the corner. It's off the mark by Mark Brown. Offensive rebound, Sallies, and it's back in the hands of Sosa.
A lot of great energy here with both teams. First to the floors, moving the ball up and down. I think both teams have done generally a pretty good job of sharing the ball. Going to be important that the transition defense for both teams improves.
Jump ball here, and it's going to stay with Sallies as they trail by 1, 19-18, and 5:42 to go in the second.
Trevor, if I'm not mistaken, I had to coach against you as an 8th grader. Is that right?
That is right.
Yes, you did. And that 5 years I had to try to defend you. I had to change a lot of defensive strategies. The way you played the game, you were very creative. You were incredibly intuitive. I thought you had one of the great feels for the game. And I remember calling a game at Salesianum on the baseline closest to the street where you made one of the most incredible dunks that I've ever seen. I don't have the words to describe it, but it was unbelievably athletic.
It was a slow game, from what I remember, and that play really stood out because of it. But yes, that was.
You and I both remember that one. Fortunately, you didn't do it on against my team.
Absolutely, no, it was fun, and to do it at Sallies, I think made it a little bit more special because I have a lot of buddies that went there, and it's something that I can still talk about today. So, and I still have that on them.
Braylon Sosa on the finger roll, lay in for 2. He's got 10 points, and Sallies is now in front 20-19.
Well, they've done a really good job with their youth being able to drive the ball and attack them internally, and that's going to be one of the keys to the game. Either pound it inside of their bigs or drive it and score that way with players like Sosa.
3 ball right, no. And rebounded by Niall Watson. Trevor Cooney's with us here on the broadcast. And you know, because you were one of them, an outstanding 8th grader, you know, and of course went on to play with an incredible career at Syracuse. What have you seen from some of these young, talented players here throughout the tournament tonight, and maybe their prospects, you know, as their career goes on?
Absolutely. I'm very, very impressed with Sanford's effort. And I talked to them before the game, and I know that they're young, and that's just something that I talked about, was just to get them going, go out there and play hard. I mean, this is an older Sallies team, and I just wanted them to go out there and compete early. I think this is his 1,000th point.
Latrell Wright for 3, and a timeout by Sanford, as it's now a 23-19 lead. And Wright has scored 1,000 points in his high school career.
That's very, very impressive, and to do it here is very, very special.
Latrell's a player that can score in a variety of ways. He's an excellent driver. I've always loved his defense. A very creative ball handler, finds the great angles to attack, and they're a good long-range shooter because of his body. He's done a wonderful job of improving himself in the weight room.
Special moment for him. Getting the ball here and being honored at center court. 1,000 points in his high school career. Congratulations to Latrell Wright for Sallies.
Trevor, what was the most memorable experience at Sanford? You obviously played for Stan Waterman, one of the great coaches in high school of all time, a dear friend of mine. Tell me a little something about your career and what kind of stands out beside that wonderful dunk.
Man, there's a lot. Just playing for Stan Waterman was an experience within itself, and it's why I kind of went to Sanford, was to be coached by him. I mean, there's just such a long line of guys that came before me, and guys that I looked up to and I went to go watch when I was in middle school, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a part of a program, and that's what he built there, and that's what continues to go on there. And I'm so happy to see Khalid there and succeeding the way that he is, because that's what makes Sanford so special, to have just the brotherhood that it is, and to have someone else that was coached by Coach Stan and still there in the school teaching. It's just special.
Did you model your game after someone? Did you have a college or a pro player, maybe even a high school player that had come before you that you said, I want to play like him?
So I was a big fan of J.J. Redick and J.R. Smith. And I tried to be a combination of both of them, which was tough because they're both great players. But Size-wise, I was around their height, and I figured if I could play a two-guard like them, that I would be all right. But I used to watch clips of those guys all the time, of how they got open, of how they got their shots off, of how they worked off the ball and on the ball, how they used teammates to create space. But those were two guys that I definitely watched a lot.
And then you went and played for a Hall of Fame coach at Syracuse. That must have been a marvelous experience. I loved watching games up in the Carrier Dome, and I remember watching your career very closely.
Oh, I was such a big fan of Syracuse growing up, and such a big fan of the Big East. It was just something that I wanted to be a part of. And the first time I went up there, I just completely fell in love with the place and the 30,000 people that were there.
You didn't mind the cold now?
I did not. No, you spend a lot of time inside, and that's what I did. I spent a lot of time in the gym. So I tried to stay out of the cold.
Sanford is asking for you to get back out to the court now. It's a 12-0 run right now for Sallies as they lead at 28-19. A couple more things for you, Trevor. I wanted to ask about what you would say to some of these young players growing up now, not only that want to be great basketball players, but in general, what you've learned at this level, and something that we always ask to say, I wish I knew that, and what I know now. What kind of message would you kind of give to these guys?
You got to fall in love with the game, and you got to fall in love with the process. If you want to go to the next level and you want to play in college, you gotta love the game, and you gotta love to work at it every single day, one way or another. And that's what I tell a lot of these kids, and a lot of these kids don't understand that, right? They don't understand that it takes every single day. It takes dribbling down in your basement to work on your handle at night. It takes waking up early to get into the gym and get some shots up before school. It takes all of that to even remotely be close to getting to that college level. And if you're not doing those things, someone else is, and they're going to beat you to it.
That's a great message. I'll tell you what, it was fun coaching against you, and I would have loved coaching you, Trevor. You always had such a great demeanor on the court. I love that about you. You were always composed. You played extremely hard, but you never let your emotions overcome you.
Absolutely. Now, it is tough, and you cannot let that happen, because if it happens, it's going to take over other parts of the game, and you're not going to be able to get back into it.
Big bucket for Jacob Allen there for Sanford to stop that run that Sallies was on. You call it. That's a traveling violation. Final thought here, Trevor, in terms of the SL24 Foundation, this classic, the role in the community. What do you hope to see from this as we're in our 8th year of this, if you can even believe it?
I just hope that it continues to grow. I hope we can add some other schools to it. I hope we can add some more games, because everyone needs to be a part of this, right? Everyone needs to be able to hear Mr. Locke's message and hear Sean's story and understand that if they're not feeling okay, that it's okay. And it's okay to reach out to people, and it's okay to talk. And I think that message is getting across. And what we've accomplished at Sean's house and what they've done there for the community it's truly amazing, and it continues to grow every single day, and the money that's raised here goes right to that, and that's why we're able to do the things that we're doing.
Always great to see you, my friend. Thanks for everything.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Trevor, a pleasure.
You guys make this event special, and you guys bring this extra flair to it, so we thank you guys so much.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for getting it all started.
Thanks, Trev.
Yep,
We'll talk to you. Trevor Cooney with us here tonight, the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic, which he pretty much got going right here at the Chase Field House.
Oh, he was the guy.
He was here, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, he along with Chris and then a few of the key board members. But Trevor's idea of bringing it here, he did a great job of coordinating in his early days when he was here of this tournament. Fabulous job.
And we're going to keep it going. 8th annual here tonight. Remember, for you to donate, unlockthelight.com/donate. Still have a few hours left before we complete this year's tournament. Every little bit helps. The SL24 Foundation, Sean's house and Sean's rooms throughout the state of Delaware, helping the youth with mental health. 30-21, Sallies by 9, minute 35 to go on the drive. This is Niall Watson, and he was fouled.
It took Sallies a while, but they got themselves going defensively. They did a great job of shutting down shooters. They're more aggressive. They're double teaming the ball, trying to create some havoc, and then they were able to get the ball inside and attack via the dribble. They've gotten to the free throw line, and they got Latrell Wright going, which I thought was a huge factor.
So Wright takes a seat here for Sallies. stays a 9-point game. Minute and a half to go here in the first half.
Sanford switched to his own about 6 possessions ago as we were talking to Trevor, and it has slowed Sallies up a little bit. They did that to be sure they cut off some of the driving lanes.
Here's Brady Esser, and he says, I'll just make my own lane, and gets 2.
I'll tell you what, this Esser's getting better as the season's going on. I mentioned Sallies is 8-8, so they played 16 games, only played 20 in Delaware. But I'll tell you what, he has really improved in the last 3 or 4 games, getting a lot more minutes from Coach Trevisan, and well deserved.
Under minutes ago, almost a steal. They do get the steal. And it's showtime at Sallies and Kevin Coleman.
Kevin Coleman, known for his defense, has started to expand his game in the mid-range. Came in as a 3-point shooter, but he's been a big factor here with a lot of energy off the bench.
The lead has ballooned up to 13 with 35 seconds to go in the first half.
Credit Sallies for staying mature and composed as Sanford took over the game early on with some long-range shooting, but they really bottled them up with tenacious defense here in the second quarter.
Azir Elgood, he hands it off now on the wing to Projection, who's had a really good game, the 8th grader for Sanford, although they're down by 13 right now. And with 12 seconds to go on the drive, Allen, and he is fouled. Jacob Allen will get to the line for Sanford.
Well, one of the changes, Salesianum went to more switching on their defense. That's confused Sanford a little bit. That's cut off some of the driving lanes and allowed them to jam up shooters so they didn't get those easy looks that they got in the first quarter. Nice job by the Salesianum bench. Coach Trevisan's got some really great assistants. Danny Stroud, who I coached against years ago, has been a long-time assistant. Taylor does a great job, a math teacher at Salesianum. A really fine gentleman who works very hard on his program.
Yep, Robert Turner as well, Brandon Tunnell and Preston Dogan.
They've been around for a while together. Cohesion and consistency of the staff's message.
Jacob Allen here for Sanford with 10.5 seconds to go in the first half. Cuts the lead down to 11. Landon Fox has come in for the first time tonight for Sanford for Elgood. And now does Sallies take a timeout? Yes, they're going to talk it over here. And they've got 10.5 seconds to work with to close out this half. See if they can get something to add to their 11-point lead. Online auction still going on. Merchandise here from the Chase Fieldhouse. That's also available online at unlockthelight.com. Don't forget about that. And we got a lot to come here still. In the second half, we'll talk to Zach Ryan, the executive director of the SL24 Foundation. Between the third and fourth quarter, we'll hear the big reveal, the number that was raised for the money over this past weekend to help benefit the SL24 Foundation. And we'll talk to Chris Locke, the co-founder, as well in the fourth quarter. Should be a great evening as we close it out here in the 8th annual tournament. Let's close out this first half here, Bill. 10 seconds to go.
Well, Salesianum used the timeout. They drew something up. Latrell Wright with a quick split to the deep corner. A really good design by Coach Trevisan.
They got a good look for the 3 by Matt Shelley, but it doesn't go, and that's the end of the half. So Sallies, who was down early, came storming back. They went on a 15-0 run, and a big reason why they are now on top by 11, 34-23 at the half. We'll take a timeout. We will be back with more and the start of the second half between these two in the nightcap, Sallies and Sanford. It's to close out the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic from the Chase Fieldhouse in Wilmington, Delaware. Stay tuned. More after this.
What else should I bid on for the auction? Ooh, a fun night in Philly. Ugh, well, it looks like I'm running out of room. I might also have to bid on balloon planners. But what about the footballs? Now the question is, which signed Eagles football do I want? Landon Dickerson or Jalen Hurts? Or I can just bid on a nice dinner with my friends. And if we don't know where to go, that won't be a problem. Because with the Platinum Dining Group, there's a handful of options. Or we can do the Bardet experience and try them all. Ugh, but I've been working so hard. Maybe I deserve a vacation. Maybe I can bid on something from Elite Island Resorts. I can go to Antigua, Panama, or even the Barbados. Yeah, I could get used to this. Well, enough about me. What about all of our high schoolers and their families? Don't you want to show some school spirit? Well, now you can with some swag bags. Plenty of merch in here. All you have to do is bid on them. Or maybe you just want a relaxing game night with your friends or family or even alone. Well, we've got you covered. Now the question is, what are you gonna bid on this year?
The time I faced adversity was when I dislocated my kneecap. It put me out for the rest of my senior season, so that was the last time I'll ever touch a basketball. Basketball has honestly brought me my best friends. It's taught me how to move through adversity and how to push through hard things.
My cousin died. It was hard times, but I just talked to my family about it and just got through adversity, pushed through. We just kept talking and showing love to each other, just show how much we meant to each other. It helped me on the basketball court, know who I'm playing for, just thinking about him, and even with our family, it just make me think I love them and I don't know what I would do without them.
When I was in 3rd grade, my parents, they got a divorce. It was a tough time for me. I faced a lot of adversity I had to push through. I really relied on my family.
I faced adversity when my parents separated and kind of just broke me, and I just felt like I didn't have a safe space at home to just feel all my feelings, and I didn't really have anyone to talk to about it. Basketball was just an outlet where I could just use go there and let all my feelings out. Didn't have to talk about anything, didn't have to think about anything that was going on.
Growing up knowing the Locke family and being family friends with them, I was very aware of Sean's passing, and just being able to see the impact of his passing on other people, I was able to be aware of how to deal with mental health and just be more comfortable.
Losing my grandma at a young age and my childhood friend recently, I felt like a part of me just left. That's really it. It was hard without seeing them every day no more.
It was my 6th grade year. It was COVID. COVID just hit and we were in quarantine, and I got a call from my mom saying that my cousin passed away in a bike accident. He brought a lot of joy to our family. He walked in the room, everybody started smiling. He was just a cool person to be around. I do play for him a lot. We didn't really share basketball, but he was always in the stands for me when I needed him.
When my grandmother passed away my 8th grade year, it was definitely a very hard time for me because my grandmother was my biggest supporter when it came to sports. Her passing away was a loss to everyone, and so I felt like grieving with my family definitely helped me, feel my emotions and get through that hard time. Basketball helps me get through it because it just reminded me of her and how much she loved watching me play. She just loved supporting me, and I feel like knowing that I was playing the game that she loved to watch me play, it made me feel a lot better.
Sean was truly an amazing athlete, not only just an amazing person, but he would always say hi to everyone, but on the court he was just a force. Amazing I can be on the court to showcase the love I have for others and the love I had for Sean.
Hi, I'm Carl Dridge, founder and CEO of Platinum Dining Group, a Delaware-based hospitality group that's been serving the Mid-Atlantic region since 1996. And I'd like to personally welcome you to our collection of restaurants. For nearly 30 years, Platinum Dining Group has had the privilege of serving millions of guests throughout the area. What began as a single idea has grown into a family of distinctive dining rooms, each with its own personality, food style, and ambition, but all rooted in the same commitment to unparalleled hospitality. Today, that commitment is brought to life by more than 500 dedicated professionals who show up every day with pride, passion, and an unwavering attention to detail. Our goal has always been simple: to create genuine and memorable experiences. Whether it's handmade pasta at Capers and Lemons, a coal-fired pizza from Taverna, or a sizzling red fire steak, every dish, every drink, and every moment is carefully considered. It's more than just food, it's about the connection. So allow me this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for inviting us into your lives for 30 years. Whether it's a cozy dinner, a milestone celebration, or just something in between, thank you for allowing us to be part of your story, our story, the Platinum Dining Group story.
after I saw the impact that Sean's room was having on so many Spartans, we had the idea to do more Sean's rooms.
People will go to Sean's room just to do their homework or sit down and relax to get out of class, sometimes just to grab a snack and like reset your day.
If we can get through to 5, 10, 15 kids, get their anxiety under control, it will spare them the pain and suffering that I went through as an active alcoholic. Mental health has to be the thing that they put first every day that they get out of bed.
Who will he grow up to be? Well, that depends on all of us. That's why, along with our groundbreaking medical care, Nemours Children's Health supports programs that address issues like food insecurity and the resources essential to learning. It's all part of creating a healthier future for all children. So, he can grow up to be whoever he wants to be. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine.
Aha! I knew it! You are stealing my Jersey Mike's gig.
Danny, it's just because Jersey Mike's is an official sponsor of the NFL. I'm not taking your gig.
Now you're taking my look.
This is how I dress.
My glasses. I've been looking for those.
I wear glasses. I have astigmatism.
I'll give you astigmatism.
Ready for you on set, Eli.
I gotta go.
This ain't over, Manning.
Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hey, that's my line. A sub above.
I suffer from OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, and for me it looks like a lot of different random anxieties and different repetitive behaviors. They're not really preferences, they're more sort of compulsions, so it's not something I really want to do. Every time I leave a table at a restaurant, I have to drink a sip of my water, and I can't swallow it until I leave the restaurant. One time I got the feeling that I wanted to not work. Like, that's a normal feeling that everyone experiences, I'm assuming, from time to time. And my brain sort of took that and spiraled with it. And so I became really anxious, and instead of just going to work and pushing through it, I convinced myself that if I went to work, I'd be putting myself in danger. I just thought that something bad would happen. So then I called out. One time I made lunch in 5 minutes. And within those 5 minutes, I think I washed my hands 7 times. I could be sitting up in bed at night knowing that me or my roommates locked the door, but if I think about it, and I have to stand up and go and lock it myself and unlock it and relock it, it's a whole thing. If my roommate locks the door, even if I see her do it, I have to do it because I'm worried that still someone might come into the house or something bad would happen. When I'm experiencing these intrusive thoughts and then I do my compulsions, it makes me feel more calm and relaxed after, but then, after the fact, maybe even retelling all of this now sounds really ridiculous and it doesn't make any sense at all. It's really frustrating, honestly, and it's hard to describe to people. If you don't understand something, that's okay, but sort of when people diminish that or say that, oh no, you're fine, that's okay, that's sort of when it's frustrating to me. Having an official diagnosis from someone was probably the biggest relief of my life. I'm okay, and this is just the way that I receive information, and this is how I make myself feel okay, and nothing too bad is gonna happen if I don't tap the garage door closer 7 times before I leave the house.
Partnerships built on relationships. That's our motto at CBM Insurance, and those words guide everything we do. We provide the best possible service experience because our focus is on the relationship first. When you join CBM, you join a team with an average of 20 years in the insurance industry, long-standing relationships with our carrier partners, and deep roots in our community. We stand ready to be your trusted partner and insurance advisor.
Classic. I'm Natalie here with Joshua Obiora. Joshua, what a close game that was. How do you deal with the pressure in such stressful games?
We just slow it down, trust our guards to make the right pass and make the right play, and we did. We knocked our free throws down, and everything else just came in part.
Now, what are you most proud of from yourself and your performance tonight's game?
I feel like just getting my team together in the tough moments when it was coming back. I feel like, yeah, that's what I'm proud of, being a leader, for sure.
And then how do you think that your team performed together and through the season preparing for tonight?
This is just the beginning for real. We're getting ready for the playoffs, and yeah, we're just gonna keep building for sure.
All right, now what was motivating you to play tonight on the court?
My family, my friends, everybody here coming to support for sure. My coaches, everybody who just believe in me for sure.
Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for your time. We'll be back with more from the Classic after this.
The 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic is brought to you by St. Mark's High School, the Buffon, the Cicero, and the Locke family, 94.7 WDSD FM, and by Matt Haley Trust. Well, that was last year's number, 674, 324. What are we going to have here tonight? We're going to find out in between the third and fourth quarter here at the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic, benefiting the SL24 Foundation and Unlock the Light. Awesome being here with you once again. Mike Corey, Bill Harmon, had a ton of great special guests. Thanks to Barnett Harris with us here throughout the broadcast. Nick Alessandrini doing the games last night with you, Bill, and the first two here today. We've had such a great staff of people. Let's thank them now. Jimmy Smith, our producer, putting this together. Jonathan Mondelli, our director and technical director. Mitch Owen, our engineer, getting all the stuff here. Mitch, you've been great as always. Thank you. Graphics with Thomas Rochella. Sean Kitchen and Paul Janoka and audio. You guys have done a fantastic job this weekend. Sounds great. Brad Comer, Grant Stelzer in replay and cameras, along with Zach Fraley, Lucas Kiefer, and Anthony Stewart. You guys have been awesome with the cameras. Thank you so much tonight. And alongside my brother, Brian Corey, who's done everything, right? PA, helping us with stats.
He does do it all. He does it all, that Brian.
He's been great.
Big fan. I'm a big fan of Brian's.
Thanks, everyone. Great job here this entire weekend putting this on, and for the right reasons as well. So hopefully we'll surpass last year's total. We'll find out at the end of the third. The third has now begun as Sallies leads it by 11. Sanford possession. Here is Azir Elgood.
Well, Sanford ran a set play for one of the first times in the game. They run some ball screen action. Lazy Adams' defense has really been ramped up since the end of the first quarter.
Back up top, Elgood, and doesn't want to force anything. Pass to the corner for Watson, running, shot, no, it's going to be offensive.
Well, Mike, we just saw a possession that lasted 37 seconds, and that seemed like an eternity, didn't it? So very rarely, we talked about the shot clock coming into its inception, another year and a half of 35 seconds. So it really, very rarely happens.
Yep, easy call there too, as Matt Shelley took the charge for Sallies. And they go back the other way here with a lead by 11.
Sallies running a little false motion. They like to reverse the ball to both sides of the court. A really good offensive strategy.
Here's a steal. Check it, Robinson, and scores it. For Sanford, that is Trevor Webster. Excuse me, Webster on the two.
Webster did a great job there with that wonderful first step. He is the oldest guy on the team, a senior, did a really nice job with the steal and finishing with his left hand at the other end.
Now it's Dominic Downs, cross court to the corner. Runner, Sosa, foul. And Braylon Sosa to the line here for Sallies.
Best part of Sosa's game is he has great recognition of the way the defense is playing him. He's a freshman. We've talked about him before. Their primary ball handler along with Wright. He can direct the club or play off the ball. That time he was off the ball. A good decision to drive, a little bit of baby floater, avoids the charge with his body control, and a really good free throw shooter. I love his stroke.
Again, playing beyond his years, right, Bill? It's so impressive. The freshman now has 11 points to lead all scorers in this game tonight.
And it looks like it's easy for him. He never seems out of control, and that's what I like about him. Plays with a lot of poise. He has a good intuitive feel for the game. And not a bad defender either.
So he's got 12. His teammate Wright has 7 and just scored his 1,000th point in this game tonight. Esser's got 5. On the other side, it's Watson and Pachection, each with 5 for Sanford. And they get the bucket inside again with Webster.
Nice job there by Azir Eligood, who really handles the ball extremely well. Avoided the double team, avoided the back tap, and then made a great pass to the back cutting Webster.
Here's Wright. Dishes it for Downs, who goes inside for Brown. No. Downs the offensive board and the step back.
Nice play by Downs going into the basket there. That's what I mentioned earlier. He's improved his game playing in a lot of different dimensions. Mark Brown is the last of a number of Browns that have played at Salesianum. All went on to play college ball as well.
The feed inside. And missing on the runner is Protection. And it's out of bounds, and it'll stay with Sanford. They had a chance at it there, and a nice pass down low to him.
Protection really did a nice job, though. A very mature play. Got caught on the front side with a shot blocker coming. He used a shot fake to avoid him. Went to the backside, used the rim as a shot protector. Just couldn't quite finish. Didn't have enough English on it, but a very heady play for the young player.
Watching him out there along with a guy like Sosa, because we're talking about young players, Protection, 11 for Sanford, who's an 8th grader, and Sosa, number 2 for Sallies, and White is a freshman. Their demeanor and their communication and just knowing the game, again, is pretty impressive.
Don't they play with remarkable poise?
They do. And I see them talking out there and communicating to their teammates like they're a senior, telling everybody else where they need to be.
Somehow I have a feeling they've played together for a while. Maybe in AAU, maybe in 7th and 8th grade. Well, not 8th grade for one of them, but in the lower levels of basketball. But they do. They coalesce very well. They communicate, as you mentioned, I think on a very high and mature level. And Khalid Hart and his staff have done a really nice job with him.
Yes, Protection right here now as he kicks it back out to Elgood. Elgood picks up his dribble, feeds to cutting Watson. Watson's pass is intercepted. Shelley. Cross court. And blocked from behind there. Protection on the block that time of Esser.
Protection plays bigger than he is. He's got a great feel for the game.
And now he's blocked on the other end, and then he tried to get it back, and he's called for the foul. Valiant effort. I mean, you know, he's going after it.
He's playing extremely hard. I think he was frustrated after getting his shot blocked. He just did not recognize the spatial relationship with the man coming at him. Then he makes the foul right away. Not unusual for any player, but certainly for a young player. He'll learn that, and he'll see the tape and realize he didn't get the hand in first.
4.5 to go in the third quarter. 38-27. Sallies with possession and Esser. Sosa spinning, and what a play by the freshman. Get out of here.
That gets unbelievably high marks for creativity. He goes with a crossover, reverses across the court, and spins back to the middle of the court with an underhanded spin shot. Pretty remarkable, Mike. I'm not sure he's practiced that very often.
No, but it looked like it
worked.
Yeah. Sanford loses it out of bounds. Here it is again.
Remarkable. The spin inside, finishes right hand with that twisting spin. Puts a little bit of a gyroscope spin on it to get it to roll in.
Brady Esser. Sallies opening up a 13-point lead. The defender falls down, and Esser puts it up and in.
Boy, great poise there by Esser as he drove the ball down. Looked like he was going to kick it out to the baseline screen, and then the Sanford defender fell down. He had the presence of mind to turn back inside and finish. Esser, as I mentioned earlier, has been getting a lot more time here in the last 4 games and being rewarded for extra playing time because he's playing so well.
And Khalid Hart calls a timeout for Sanford as they talk it over, down 15 points, 42-27, as we are now joined by the executive director of SL24, Zach Ryan. Great to be with you again, man.
It's great to be with you as
well. Welcome, Zach. Always good to see you. We had a
Awesome.
great conversation last night.
You guys have really put on just another spectacular event. I mean, I know there's, the fans that come in, some for the first time, some come in for years, some have been here for all 8. I always notice something improved, bigger, better, more efficient, more people. Great job, guys, really.
I mean, it really comes down to an extraordinary team, and they spread the word to their families, their friends, and this doesn't happen without sponsors. It doesn't happen without a community of people that say, we want this to stop. We want to end the stigma. And it's always great when you can come together in a great venue like this with amazing basketball and some schools with a lot of school spirit. I mean, we got the pep bands, we got the cheerleaders. I mean, it's just really been a spectacular experience.
I think what's awesome, in addition to everything that Sean's House is doing, where anybody can come in anytime, you talk to your peers, you got the peer support program, all the donations and money invested, which is incredible. But then you guys will take that and you give out the scholarships. You got the whole scholarship program. Tell me a little bit more about that and how that's helping everybody.
Well, yeah, I think that really kind of stemmed from, all right, we've really been kind of centered here in Newcastle County, but we wanted to always be statewide. And so if we can connect with all of our on-call clinicians, this huge network of people that want to give their services and they want to help more people, all right, let's do it, and let's gather those people up and really respond to the call of, if there's a financial burden, if somebody is uninsured or underinsured, they can apply for this scholarship and we will fund them, no questions asked, in perpetuity, so they can get the therapy and the help that they need. And so, as Chris said, it's been $100,000 in scholarship dollars that have been awarded. It's an amazing number, and it doesn't happen without nights like tonight.
Zach, I asked you this question last night. I'm going to phrase it again tonight. What's next? What's the next step in the evolution of everything you all have done and established here?
Well, I think when we go into the locker rooms, I think the reason why I mention this is there's so many unique communities that come together at this event. And so I'm going to use this as a microcosm, right? You have teams from all over the state, which means neighborhoods that are different, diverse, people with specialized needs, people that need different kinds of therapy and mental health support. We need peers that match that, and we need services that match that. So I think what's next for us is specialization. How can we help that person who's a unique person with a unique problem and challenge?
Wright gets it to Kevin Coleman for the 2, and it's 44-27. Sallies on top of Sanford here with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to play in this third quarter. You talked about the support and the people that are just kind of coming out and really helping the cause. I feel like there's a lot more people, and then you guys have a lot more support as well, because you've been very, very efficient, and I think it's only going to get better and better, which is awesome.
All right, well, can we talk about the snow? All right, so there was so much snow, and we didn't get to do pre-sales at schools like we usually do. I think we were able to go to 2 schools, but I am pretty confident in saying that this is still the largest crowd we've ever had. So even with the snow, even with those transportation challenges, here they are. And I think that just shows that people are going to find a way, whether it's a bus, an Uber, I don't know, a paratrooping, parachuting in, they are going to figure out how to get here to be at this event and be a part of it.
It was jammed up in the hallway there. It took me like a while just to try to get upstairs. At the halftime of this game, I said, you know what, let me just stay right here because I don't want to miss getting back on the air to start the third.
Right, and I think the other thing that's really kind of amazing is when Chris got out there and was speaking, I mean, yeah, you want the event to be lively, you want people to be talking. That's what we're encouraging is conversations. And when he started talking, yeah, there's a little bit of a buzz in the field house.
Yep.
But then they listened. And when those lights go out and everybody puts their cell phone light up, I mean, you could hear a pin drop because people know how important this moment is. And I think every year we need this reminder. We need this reminder probably more than just this weekend, that we're in this together and that this affects so many people. Mike, I just wanted to tell you about one thing that I said in the locker rooms.
Yeah,
that was the number 24. It wasn't just Sean's number. It isn't what we just put on the warm-ups. 75% of mental illnesses manifest by age 24. And so I think for us, that's why we have this target age group, and that's why we are building these Sean's rooms and hopefully building more Sean's houses.
Well, that's one thing we've discussed, I think, over the years, because it's just the resources that you have now and the help from this tournament, the volleyball tournament, all the other events throughout the year. That would be awesome. Like, think about if you had like a couple more on that street, right? You know, think about if you had more Sean's rooms at all the schools in Delaware. But even not that, there are ways to just, you know, be able to talk and get involved. You don't have to go to that extent. We've heard it tonight, which is great. So it's all trending in the right direction. That's basically what we're saying.
Yeah, and I mean, the physical spaces are important, and you want to give people those third spaces where they can have those conversations, where they feel safe, where they feel brave. But I think the other thing is, it's the people. I mean, look at Kat and Chris, our co-founders. The way that they put themselves out there, the way they've created this team of light. I know those people are in Kent County. I know those people are in Sussex County. I know that they might be struggling right now, and this might not be their best moment, but their best moment is ahead of them, and we want them on our team. And I think that's what's really exciting. So while those physical spaces are important, and again, weekends like this help us to build those, it's building that team, it's building those people. The people are so important. That's why we do it.
100%. Here's a three on the way. No good by Elgood for Sanford. Sallies with a 16-point lead, trying to tack onto it. And they can't do it there on the drive by Coleman. And a whistle as the player is down for Sanford. That's Sam Russell. He is up. And there's only 14.8 seconds to go in the third. Are you ready for the announcement coming here? I'm excited.
I was going to say, I think I'm ready. I mean, it is so exciting. I mean, it's just for what does it represent? It represents hard work, but it also represents possibilities. And I think we often can equate, it's a hallway, like when somebody doesn't have the conversation, it's like a locked hallway. When they do, it opens up a door to a hallway with a lot more doors and possibilities to getting help. And that's what these resources, that's what that number, that's what it means.
It's almost both ways here, as we have 4 seconds to go before the end of the third. Here's a long three, Elwood, and it doesn't go. It's going to be 46-30, Sallies at the end of three. It's a struggle for some people. We don't want to make it a struggle. And then on this flip side, for you guys trying to support everybody, it can't be a struggle for you guys either. And hopefully it's not, you know, thanks to these resources that are provided.
I mean, I could go down the line. It really is about my team. And this number represents more team members like that, to be honest with you, more resources and more ways to help people.
Let's go to PA announcer Kevin Linton as he's about to introduce Chris Locke here for the big number reveal.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please direct your attention to the floor.
Okay, everybody, we just want to share with you how much we raised over the last 2 days. We always have a goal to raise $1 more than we did last year. This money goes to fund Sean's rooms, Sean's houses, and the mental health scholarship I spoke about earlier. Every dollar we raise, 93% of those dollars go to programming. So we think it's really important to share that with everybody. So I'm going to reveal the numbers. The first number is 4. Second number, 2. Third number, 1, comma, 0, 1. And the last number, 710,124. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We will see you next year. You guys are tremendous. We appreciate it so, so much. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Locke.
You did it again.
It's amazing. It really is. I mean, it's not me. It's everybody in this place. It's everybody on my team. It's the board. It's the sponsors. It's the fans. It's the players. And it's the people that are brave enough to go to Sean's house and ask for help. That's what this is all about.
8 years of this tournament here, which began back in 2019, and it is now up to over $3.6 million.
Yeah, I mean, I just think about how this started. And it started with this tragedy, and people really took to that and said, look, we want to end the stigma, and let's do something more. And I think about the losses in my life. When I see that number turn, when I see those numbers turn, I think of different people that I've lost. I think of different people that have struggled. But again, I think of that metaphor of, all right, now there's light for those people in my life that are struggling in the future, and that maybe didn't have those opportunities. The people that didn't have the opportunities before, they do now.
Zach, the biggest thing that I thought from this weekend, and I've said it a couple times on the air, I'm just saying it again now with you here, is that the young people that we've had on the air, that we were talking about here, ninth graders, young people, they start telling us their story and talking about how it's affecting them so they can pass it on to other people within the schools, within Sean's rooms, with helping their peers. That's exactly the mission of what we wanted, and we're started that young. That's awesome.
Yeah, and when we're talking about the direction, that's the vision, that's the direction. We're peer support. It is about empowering young people to tell their story, because their story is sacred, their story is light, and they can lead with vulnerability. That's what we tell every player here. You can be a change maker by wearing that warm-up. You can prove to people that you can be a light and still say, I need help.
How about the combination between you and this guy here and what you guys have done together?
Oh my gosh, a mentor, a father figure, and just somebody that, like, when I'm struggling, he's a light. It's really amazing.
We're going to do a little handoff here as we bring in Chris.
Thank you, Zach. Well done.
Hey,
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for all your hard work.
You're the best. Thanks a lot, man.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
How about it, my friend?
Oh, geez.
Probably not as good as you.
Congratulations.
Unbelievable.
Well done, partner. Well done.
Outstanding weekend. That's $3.6 million, by the way, in the 8 years you've done this.
It's overwhelming. It really is just overwhelming. When we started putting numbers together, I was like, holy cow. Because last year's number was really big.
I know.
And with the snow and everything that we were dealing with, I was like, nah. It's everybody who comes. It's everybody buys a sweatshirt, a T-shirt, pays for the ticket. It's the sponsorship, the companies, all the businesses, the individual families. I mean, it's just unbelievable what they've done. And as I said, at the beginning of the game, it's about change, and these funds will be able to change the conversation, change how we deal with young people and their mental health issues. And my goal is, the next generation that comes to this game, this will be just commonplace. We'll just talk about mental illness like we deal with any other disease that we deal with. So
you've had so many visions with this and so many things you want to do to help people out, which you've done, which has been unreal. And now with these resources, it must feel like, there's sometimes like a weight that's lifted because a little bit of the pressure comes off because of things that you might want to do, and it costs money, and now you're hopefully able to have it to do it and continue to help people. So that's always a great thing.
Well, I'm going to quote Derek Jeter. Okay.
And you got to know he's a gigantic Yankees fan.
I know that. Yeah.
So Derek Jeter says, hey, just because you won a championship doesn't mean you don't go for the next championship. And we do not take the pressure off. We are always looking, how do we use these funds for betterment, to do more. So we look at this, okay, we won this championship. Now it's on to the next championship. And I love Derek Jeter for that. He was never happy with just that World Series. He was always going for another one, another one, another one. And that was Sean's favorite player. His favorite athlete of all time was Derek Jeter. And I think we take that spirit and we say, okay, we're going to go and win another championship.
Chris, it is so amazing how this foundation has grown, thanks to you and obviously everyone else that is associated with it. But how do you continue to keep the energy and keep the momentum going in the direction that it has? I mean, it really is remarkable. It's a grassroots movement here, and you guys have done a fabulous job. I mean, you're the forefront of it. I know you won't accept that, but I know. I've been around a long time. But it really is amazing. So how do we keep sustaining this?
Well, and that is, you can't be complacent. You have to be consistent in your effort, and you have to say, okay, what more can we do? And it's grassroots, so somebody will come up with an idea. And we're like, yeah, okay, let's try it. We're never afraid to try a different idea. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, okay, we tried it. So it's all grassroots. And thank you for the compliment, but it's not me. It's all these people. It's all these people that are part of it. Those in the front, those in the background that are doing this. And we're just trying to make sure that we are the vehicle to get the job done.
50-35, Sallies leads Sanford here with 5:51 to go in the nightcap of the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic. Talking with the co-founder, Chris Locke, Sean's father. And you know what, I think all the time about why I love this place in this state is because I'm not sure if this could happen in other places, right? Thank you, Delaware. Thank you to the people here. Thank you to you and your family and the people, the relationships you've built over time. Look how much of the benefit you get from that, from treating people right, and you've done it, and I commend you on that.
Well, Delaware is called the small wonder, and that is the truth. And we all have been around here long enough to know that Delaware is this tremendous, tight-knit family, and it's third-degree separation. Somebody knows somebody that you know. And first game today, I was talking to somebody, and also somebody walked by and goes, yeah, and they hadn't seen each other since they went to high school at Louisiana. And there is this kind of family reunion here that people just get together and they hang out, watch a little bit of basketball, and then talk about mental health. And Delaware is amazing, and it is the small wonder for a reason, because we can do wonderful things, and we are. I mean, so many people from around the country will say, you're doing what? You've got Sean's rooms, you got Sean's house. They just are amazed at what we've done through all the help of so many people, educators, politicians, people in the community. It's all a community effort, Sarah. We got to really do something about this.
Setting up a great framework like this is going to be so helpful, because now everybody kind of sees how it can be done in terms of the schools in Delaware, because we want to get everybody on board with this, right? I know that was your kind of goal. Like, yeah, you only have so much time. There's only so many resources. Like, let's get this place solidified first, right? Let's get everybody here in this state saying, yep, we're on board, we're on it. I just told Zach this. I'm going to feel like a broken record, the people hearing this again, but the young people, Chris, we talked to them tonight on the air. They're telling their story. They're saying what they're struggling with. They're bringing their friends in. It really had to stem from them. I know you said it, because when they say it and it's their friends and then they connect, that's when it's really going to have an impact. And you're doing exactly what you set out to do, and you're doing it at a younger age, and that's really important.
And I wish, I was saying to Father Beretta, and I said, I wish everybody was at center court with me tonight, because as I'm looking at the crowd, so many people from so many different backgrounds, and they were all listening intently, and you could tell they were receiving the message. So yeah, I want to be part of this change. I want to help these kids that are dealing with what they're dealing with.
I guess you can go home and get a little sleep tonight, Chris.
Hopefully we'll be out here about 1 a.m. after we clean up.
And you certainly deserve it.
Hey, give me a final take, a final message. What else does everybody else need to know watching this here and an incredible 8th annual tournament?
Don't suffer in silence. Ask for help, and we'll be here for you always, 24/7, 365 days a year. We love you, Delaware, and we're here. We got your back.
Love you, Chris. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Chris, congratulations. You're the best. Congratulations. Love you, my friend.
Awesome job again. We'll keep it going.
All right. Thank you, brother.
All right. Chris Locke, co-founder of the SL24 Foundation, the father of Sean Locke, who passed away in the summer of 2018, the reason why we are here. And he's said it many a times. I bet you Sean's looking down and saying, wow. He's always had an impact. He did that when he was here with all his family and friends, and now it's going to continue forever.
I'd say he'd love to be playing at this venue and shooting those long-range threes.
Yeah.
I can picture him out there right now. I remember him, as I mentioned earlier in the evening in yesterday's shows, that how I got a chance to coach him as a 9th grader. He came in, and in a summer league game, he was fearless before he'd even entered St. Mark's. And remarkable young man, has left an unbelievable legacy thanks to his father and the organization. But I remember Sean so fondly, the opportunity to have coached him, to have gotten to know him as a coach and a player, and then to even talk about him as a commentator when he was playing for the University of Delaware. Great memories for me, Mike.
Injured player down for Sanford here, and it's Niall Watson at the other end of the court underneath the basket. They're going to go attend to him with 3:31 to go in this game. 55-40. Sallies has been in command. They lead it by 15 points. Take a moment to thank everyone for their generosity, their support, for watching, for donating, for volunteering, for being a part of this. It's an easy cause to get behind, right? I've always said it. Everyone's dealing with something, right? And great to have everybody here and support this 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic.
Well, you make a great point. It is easy to support this because almost everybody needs some help at some point. And to be able to admit it and find someone to talk to and to feel comfortable doing that, it really is a changed generation. That did not happen 50, 60 years ago.
No.
And the evolution of this, and it's at the right time. And when you look at the numbers, it just is so paramount that how much we need things like this out in our community. A lot of people need help, and it's great that people have a place to do it. And now they're starting to recognize that it's okay to admit a little bit of vulnerability.
$710,124 raised this evening, surpassing last year by over $35,000. $3.6 million raised since it started in 2019. Thank you very much. Closing this out here with 3:20 to go. And in the middle of the lane, fouled Sallies' Zion Rothwell.
Well, Salesianum was down in the first quarter, and they rallied back because of their defense and their experience. I think their length and their defensive pressure bothered Sanford. They got a little bit out of rhythm. They took some questionable shots when the game was still in the balance. And then Sally's done a pretty good job here of closing the game out. At times, some teams have been able to come back on them and late in the game, but they've been really tough here with the ball. They've made their free throws when needed. They've taken the right shots at the right time. Taylor Trevison's got to be very happy. Now, they have played with this game tonight 17 games, only 3 left for them, so they've got plenty of time to practice and get ready for the tournament. But they're going to be a formidable team once they get there. They've got a lot of parts. They've got a lot of really good players. They play well together, and I'll tell you what, their intensity was superb.
Down to the block. Sanford stays with it. This guy, the 8th grader, Johnny Projection.
Got the game going that way, and here he is near the end, still shooting.
That's a 3, and a huge bright spot for this team in the future moving forward. That's one good thing. I mean, wow, you know, this is one of those things. That's why I think, you know, hopefully there'll be some changes as this basket is scored by downs. And I'm speaking of college basketball, where everybody can go anywhere they want now, which I just don't love, and I don't think a lot of people do. In high school, you know, you're playing against this guy, you would think, for the most part, you're like, he's still here, you know, he's still here. Like, you have to deal with this guy for another 4 years.
That's what I kept saying about Trevor Cooney. It was like, you never graduated. Let's go, Trev. Move on. But you're absolutely right. I wanted to make a point there. A really smart play by Sosa. Had a chance to take a shot, but he decided to withdraw the ball, play the time score a little bit better, get his other teammates involved. I've been very impressed with Braylon Sosa of Sallies, only a freshman.
Yes, and as the drive is scored by Kevin Coleman, you were talking about number 2 in white, Braylon Sosa, and you're absolutely right. As his team is on top, 62-43. He has played spectacular in this one as well. Future bright for him. Ahead of the pack, it's Latrell Wright, and the easy layup. He scored his 1,000th point here tonight and was honored at half court, and he puts that one in to put him up 64-43.
Well, Wright, the veteran, got his 1,000th point here tonight. A great achievement for him. He's been really spectacular, helping the team with his physicality and his great defense.
They tried a little alley-oop there to Coleman. As well short. All right, let's assess both programs here as we near the end of this contest. Well, a 3-pointer goes in by Watson. Let's start with Sanford. Had the early lead, got overmatched late in this game, but what about Sanford and Khalid Hart and this program?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that this team has a chance to play pretty well in the state tournament. They could use a little bit more size. They're vulnerable on the boards. They're vulnerable to a low post game. They're forced to double team then. But I tell you what, their youth is unafraid. They play much older than their actual years. They've got some pretty good depth. They play at a good tempo. I think Khalid Hart and the staff have done a good job with them. they're just going to have to learn how to kind of finish out a game and be able to respond to pressure. I think they got sped up a little bit there in the second quarter and weren't able to kind of change their outlook on the game. You've got to have a couple ways to play the game.
You are correct. They did. Now, you were talking a little bit about Sallies, so continue on with what about this team and Taylor Trevison and the group that he has. It seems to play pretty unselfish basketball, and it's a tough cover.
And they are deep. He can play 9, 10, 11 players and not see that much of a significant drop-off. Their early schedule, 9 out-of-state games. They were 4 and 5, but they played some really good teams, so they benefit from that. They've done a really good job in-state. Their wins have been significant. They've had 3 in-state losses, but they've all been close games to very good teams with good records. I think Taylor's got his team in a great spot. He also now has the advantage of having an extra practice time as they go into the tournament. They've only got 3 games in the next 3 weeks, so they'll have plenty of time to kind of work on the things they've seen in this game. But their depth, they've got good ball handlers. I thought their defense was the best part of their game tonight. They were so aggressive, they were tenacious, and they ultimately imposed their will on the younger Sanford team.
All right, well said. 35 seconds left here in this contest. And a block inside. It was Dexter Farah who's trying to take it in. 25 seconds left. Whistle. No, they're going to let it go through, and it's Travis Tracy that puts it in.
Little inadvertent whistle there. They let him play on. That was the right call.
15 ticks left here tonight. Long 3. Kyle McNulty. That doesn't go. And Sallies. The layup and the exclamation point. Zayden Camille Murray. And that is it. Sallies wins it 72-46 here tonight on our final game of the weekend to close out the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic.
Mike, first of all, always a pleasure to work with you and your brother, and Jimmy Smith's crew did a great job. It was very well organized. I loved everything about it. Congratulations to the SL24, the huge number 710 plus, a great achievement, always fun to watch this thing grow right in front of our eyes. We had great attendance considering the conditions outside. The parking was tough and the snow, but everybody rallied around. It's really been a great weekend. I always feel so honored and such a pleasure to be a small part of this. I enjoy the camaraderie of the group here. We saw a lot of really good basketball. The youth movement's out there, certainly in the basketball terms. I'll tell you what, there are a lot of really fine players, but we learned a lot about some teams tonight. They learned a lot about themselves. I had a great weekend. Mike, as always, an absolute pleasure, my friend.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for all you do.
Love calling these games with you. A lot of fun. All the best the rest of the year for you guys.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, everyone, for this outstanding weekend. We'll say it again to our producer, Jimmy Smith, our director, Jonathan Mondelli, our engineer, Mitch Owen, graphics with Thomas Rochella, Sean Kitchen and Paul Janoka, and audio, Brad Comer, Grant Stelzer with the replay and cameras, Zach Fraley, Lucas Kiefer, and Anthony Stewart filming this whole thing this weekend. Great job, guys. Nick Alessandrini, who's calling the games last night and early today. Barnett Harris, Bill Harmon, my brother Mike Corey. I'm Mike Corey. Did I say Mike Corey? I said Brian Corey. Yeah, my brother Brian Corey. I'm Mike Corey. Thanks so much for being with us. And it has been one outstanding weekend once again here in 2026. That's the number, 710-124, that was raised here this year. Over $3.6 million from year one in 2019 here to 2026. Helps us with Sean's House, the SL24 Foundation, Sean's rooms throughout the state of Delaware and the high schools in the area. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate your support, all that you've done this weekend, and we'll do it again next year. For all of us here at the SL24 Foundation, thanks for watching the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic. Have a great night, everyone.
recovering alcoholic. I've been sober for a number of years. I've struggled with mental health issues as well. I'm a strong believer that my anxiety was something that led to my alcoholism. My goal is that if I can help one student with their mental health issues now, to save them from the pain and suffering that I went through later in life, then I've done my job.
Maybe if my son had had a place like this, maybe addiction would not have taken over and he would have been able to have a safe space where people understood, you know, the struggles of mental health.
I believe that when something so horrible like that tragedy of Sean's dying happened, it's because at that moment he was in such pain and nobody was around. Nobody was there to grab him and hold him and say, I got you. And we all need that. We need to know that we can talk to anyone, that people care about each other.
Being invited to join the board of SL24, I found impact in Delaware, helping friends of my sons who would have never had the opportunity to hang out at Sean's house and get the help they need and remove the stigma.
I share my light because I had some really good adults share their light with me when I was a teenager and into my early 20s. Particularly my father and a few teachers that I encountered really helped me develop resilience.
This is a way for me to just give back to save a life. I love the people who work here. Our peer support specialists are rock stars. They are the beacon of hope for this community.
Why do I share my light is, why don't you? From all of the sponsors, everybody involved, volunteers, peer support, people here at the house, I think they would answer it the same. Why wouldn't you?